Hello, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Marisa.
And I'm Ariana.
And we're the Krolmeister sisters. As a reminder.
Podcast. Our reminders are rated.
As a reminder, this podcast is rated T for teen for strong language and mature themes.
If you don't like that, well, then you came to the wrong bar, cowboy.
Yeah.
Get off. You and your
Town's not-
house had better get. I mean, horse. I meant horse, not house. God damn it. Get on out of here and go on over to the old homestead where they got family safe. I'm gonna stop. I
yeah. We don't know.
We are not family friendly, is what I'm saying.
But cowboys. I guess.
You know?
Are we cowboys?
Or cowboys.
Yeehaw. Or in the
People
words
call me
of
Space
Tex Britain.
Yeah.
Yahoo.
Yeah.
Now do your joke.
I don't know what it was.
No, that's valid. Okay, so what are we talking about today, sister?
Today, we are taking a look at second chances. And
we sure are.
You know, maybe doing that thing we like to do called brackets.
Bracket.
So,
we are deciding via bracket which game has the best second chance.
Yes.
Or just second chances in general.
Yes.
Like, which games have, like, really good ones, all in all, is our question. And honestly, remember we always have to do a little pre-qualifier, and our pre-qualifier is actually going to be a bit of a hard one. Also, and by saying best, are we saying, like, funniest or, like, favorite?
I feel like that's definitely going to vary from game to game, because there are some where it's just like, okay, yeah, this one is the cleverest, but this one is the silliest, you know?
That's true.
So
just ones we like, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's going to be our personal opinion. Therefore, that'll make this a really good scientific, bracket.
Yeah, because all of you, if you have opinions that aren't the same of ours, it's actually just, like, not correct.
Yeah, it's just wrong. You're just wrong.
It's just wrong. Sorry. I keep having to read for class articles on developmental theories, and some of these fucking developmental theorists are so up their own ass. One guy we just read, I'm not going to name names, but if you're
she's gonna get academic on this.
If you guys are in, like, human development and child development, you will know who I'm talking about, most likely, has decided that he's going to create a unified theory that encompasses all different theories and everything. And it's like, sir, all you did was just say, and that's our unified theory. All of these other different theories, but it's actually mine. And then he cited 8 of his own works. 8.
So does that
mean...
He
cited himself so many fucking times, I literally wanted to throw it, and it was a PDF, so I couldn't.
That's horrible.
Yeah, so, but back to this, we're
that's
not that guy.
By the way, that's why, my first semester in college, I dropped my child psychology class for that exact reason.
Yeah, well.
Anyway. Pre-qualifier round.
Pre-qualifier round is Warnings at Waverly Academy versus Daedron Deception Island. And this is a rough start because both games have amazing game overs.
They do.
Like, Deception Island has such classics, including slipping on rocks and getting beamed in the head with a thingamabobber and making Katie Firestone puke, or making ourselves puke, or what else? All of the spinning newspaper deaths.
Yeah, so many good spinning newspaper deaths.
And we can just get straight up strangled to death.
Yep. Yeah, I don't care for that one as much.
But then, Warnings at Waverly Academy, you can literally get kicked out of school. You can get chopped up by a pendulum. You can fall out of a tree.
Those
really
are the
majority.
Yeah. So actually, I guess it isn't so hard. I'm going to say Danger on Deception Island.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
just all iconic.
It's really getting on that perfect time of year for both of those games, really, for me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay, so, Deception Island. Now, we're into it.
Okay.
Labyrinth of Lies versus Danger on Deception Island. I mean, I'm gonna go with Danger on Deception Island.
Yeah,
because
probably.
Labyrinth of
I don't
Lies
even remember.
Doesn't have, like you can fall into the fucking river Styx and then all the flames, and you can do all that shit and get killed, but...
Really, that's just maddening, because why is this...
a thing?
Like, apparently, safety standards in Greece are not the same as everywhere else, because it's just
according to this game. Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna go Danger on Deception Island for sure.
Yeah. Curse of Blackmore Manor versus Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon doesn't really have very many second chances.
Yeah. It's really hard to fuck up so bad that you
Game over.
Game over in Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. Curse of Blackmore Manor. Oh my god. That is a star. Let's see. You can be eaten by a plant. You can
be trapped with a 12-year-old in a... you can also...
limited airspace, and then you guys definitely die.
Yeah. Yeah. You can also die in the moving rooms.
Yep.
You can also... drown by opening up the... You can, right? When you open up the door full of water? I don't know. Do they actually let you open that? I feel like they do. But I don't know.
I don't recall.
You can kill a parrot?
Yeah.
That's another way to get kicked off the case. You can wake Mrs. Drake up at night and she'll kick you out.
Yeah. I feel like that one's a winner. That one's definitely a winner.
Definitely. Okay. Stay Tuned for Danger versus Alibi and Ashes.
I'm gonna go with Alibi and Ashes because the Stay Tuned for Danger ones piss me the hell off.
That's true. But I also can't think of any from Alibi and Ashes that stand out to me. Other than just trying to walk. You know what, to be fair, just game overing by walking out of jail is pretty fucking iconic.
That is
for Nancy.
pretty.
And honestly wins that makes the game win to me.
Yeah, that and the fact that you can game over within 5 seconds of starting the game by just opening the door and being overcome by flames.
That's
because
true.
Backdraft.
That is true. Yeah. Next one, Message in a Haunted Mansion versus Final Scene. Final Scene,
100%. First of all, again, not enough, albeit Message in a Haunted Mansion does give us...
Oh no, it's too late. That is
great. But Final Scene's definitely better. I mean... I love reaching for bubblegum and falling to my death in the seats below.
Reaching for the gear, yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You're using the bubblegum thing.
Yes.
Or you're supposed to.
Definitely. And yet. But yeah, Final Scene, definitely.
Definitely.
Trail of the Twister versus Sea of Darkness. Sea of Darkness is kind of bland.
I don't remember any game overs for that.
You can die, you can freeze to death in the lighthouse. You can get you can drown in the bilge. I can't think of many more. You can get caught by Soren back at his stuff.
I think you can die in the ice caves if you
you
take
can cause
too
a collapse.
Is that what it is?
That's it. Yeah. But Trail of the Twister, there are many, many game overs. Many, many, many game overs, in fact. And some of them are hilarious, like just crashing into people until you game over.
You see the car explode in a fireball.
It's honestly pretty beautiful.
It really is.
So
apparently you can take too long with Frosty's camera, and
we didn't get kicked off that case when that happened. You just heard him yelling at you for like 10 minutes.
I could have sworn I got to a point where it
did it. Oh man,
I feel like that's one of those ones where people were like, I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah. But I
don't remember it well enough, so
I do think Trail of Twister.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Love Sea of Darkness, but no.
It's, Deadly Device versus Shattered Medallion. Honestly, neither one has very memorable ones for me.
No. I guess I would go Deadly Device simply because you can be electrocuted.
Yeah.
But because...
And you can explode a bunch.
Shattered Medallion, I think because so much of the game doesn't make sense, the second chances also don't make sense, because it's like...
You can just get beamed by a gigantic Rubik's Cube, but
or
nothing
you can not... Yeah, I was going to say, or you can not get hit by it and then have absolutely nothing change.
Yeah, there's literally nothing that goes on with that. And also the boulder that happens, they're just there for no reason.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so Deadly Device. He's having a great time. Creature of Kapu Cave versus the Tomb of the Lost Queen.
Tomb of the Lost Queen.
First off, because Creature of Kapu Cave is the longest death percent run. Literally, it takes you 40 minutes to get to the first time you can die.
What? That's
in that game.
Crazy.
It takes you 40 minutes to be able to die, and that is going as fast as possible. So fuck Creature of Kapu Cave.
Yeah.
Yes, Tomb of the Lost Queen.
Yes. Absolutely. I mean, for the screens alone, I love that age of the
Murder Bridge.
Telling them bad. If life gives you lemons, make lemonade. If life gives you a murderous bridge, a homicidal bridge, you probably did something to make life mad.
Yeah. It's fucking great. Okay, Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake versus Ransom of the Seven Ships. Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake, because you can literally die in 5 seconds.
Yep, this is true. That's always going to be a winner for us. I feel it's like you can die so quickly. It's so easy.
You can literally just...
1 click. Okay, no, I think it has to be 3 clicks, but still.
Yeah, I mean, it literally, I think the record for death percent is 5 seconds. Literally. Fantastic. Captive Curse versus Secrets Can Kill. Secrets Can Kill has the fantastic ladle explosion.
That is true.
So I really don't think Captive Curse can outdo that.
Yeah, and I'm actually having trouble remembering.
You can die in the end of Captive Curse?
Yeah, there's literally the end.
There's also, if Carl catches you snooping in his office, but that takes 5 million years to happen.
And fucking when you do it, there's an unskippable long ass
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's irritating. So I'm just gonna say Secrets Can Kill.
Yeah, me too.
Haunted Carousel versus The Haunting of Castle Malloy.
Golly gee.
Haunting of Castle Malloy to me has some fantastic ones. Exploding by a jetpack.
Exactly.
But Haunted Carousel has some of the most iconic ones.
I fell off of a carousel and hurt myself, and I'm being fired for it.
I wasn't using goggles while using a lathe and got myself in the eye and got fired for it. But also, I burnt down the hotel and got fired for it.
Exactly.
So,
I also love that you can get hit by a fucking
roller coaster. You can also have stuff like slicing, like you just straight up just die under the carousel. Yeah. Just be impaled. Yeah, it's great. Okay, Legend of the Crystal Skull.
Oh my god, and how much do you want to bet they don't find her body for, like, forever? Sorry.
That's terrifying. Don't do that. Legend of the Crystal Skull versus Shadow Ranch. Crystal Skull. Yes.
For me, largely just because so many of the times that you get second chance for Shadow Ranch is Shorty being like
a prick,
an asshole.
So yes, I agree.
Also, I don't like that you can accidentally kill horses. I don't care for that.
Okay. Secret of the Old Clock versus Danger by Design. I hate both of those. Like, I don't like any of those second chances. I think they're all really annoying for both of them.
They are.
I want to say Secret of the Old Clock, at least, because you can, fall off a bridge reaching for a receipt.
That's true. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. You can also be caught in an old man's home because of a cat.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah. Treasure in the Royal Tower versus Shadow at the Water's Edge.
I mean,
very, very difficult for me.
You can get kicked out of Shadow at the Water's Edge with a singular question.
Yeah, you can. Which is pretty...
I mean...
It does still take quite a while to... You have to get through so many conversations to first die. Apparently, I'm also taking into account death percent in this.
Apparently.
In my thoughts here. Whereas Treasure in the Royal Tower is a pretty quick one.
Yeah. You can get squished by the elevator.
Yes. That is the long way about it.
But then there's also the terrifying ghost deaths in Shadow at the Water's Edge.
Yeah. But I do think the Shadow at the Water's Edge ones are better.
Yeah.
All around.
Honestly, probably largely by virtue of being a newer game. But
yeah. And having the good news, bad news.
Yes.
What do you mean Miwako was in her room all along? It's like, did Kasumi just murder us for upsetting Miwako?
Like, what the fuck?
Okay, Phantom of Venice versus Midnight in Salem. Phantom of Venice, hands down, because Midnight in Salem has 3 ways you can die, and they're all bland as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah,
whereas,
for sure.
Phantom of Venice, I don't like the game. However, laser Roombas? I guess that isn't even a second chance. It just sets you to the beginning of the level. But,
well, you do get caught, and then it resends you, right?
I don't even know, but you can drown and stuff at least. Yeah. It's just better than Midnight in Salem is really all I'm getting here.
Yeah.
All I'm going for.
Basically, we fucking hate Midnight in Salem.
It's not that I really, really hate the game. No. It's just so bland, and there's nothing fun about the second chances. Silent Spy versus White Wolf of Icicle Creek. Now, difficult to say.
I mean, you can get trash compacted in Silent Spy, but there are some amazing ways to die in White Wolf of Icicle Creek.
Yeah. And just, like, the second chance of, like, fucking up with the
getting
cooking and stuff.
Getting too many orders wrong. You can burn the place down.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
You can freeze to death. There's not really much. You can blow up via snowmobile.
That's true. Been there.
So, honestly, that's better. Silent Spy, there just aren't very many.
Yeah. I feel like it focuses too much on... I mean, not too much. It
focuses a lot on...
It focuses on telling a story rather than, whether you pass or fail.
Yeah.
Which is good in its own way, but not for this bracket.
Yeah. So, Ice Cold Creek. Now, Secret of the Scarlet Hand versus Ghost of Thornton Hall. Very difficult for me. Because any game where a ghost kills you is pretty fucking good. Like, honestly, that the ghost can just kill us makes that pretty good. But Secret of the Scarlet Hand, you can get kicked out for dropping the Sulkin.
It's like you're just carrying it around. What the fuck, Nancy?
And you can also be electrocuted by a ham radio.
This is true, but also, you can die at the hands of Taylor Sinclair by being locked in a box that you come to find out everyone is standing outside of and probably could have done something to get to you, but no, they leave you in there.
They were practicing their poem, Ariana.
Like, I don't care how old it is. I'm going to break something open if it means saving a human life.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Genuinely, I'm upset by that.
Okay, so, Ghost of Thornton Hall.
Yeah, Ghost of Thornton Hall.
Okay. We're in round 2. Round 2. Danger on Deception Island versus Curse of Blackmore Manor. I'm going to say Deception Island.
Yes, absolutely. There's just no competition in that one.
Alibi and Ashes versus Final Scene.
Final Scene?
Final Scene.
For sure.
Okay. Trail the Twister versus Deadly Device.
Deadly Device.
Trail.
Oh, really? Yeah, I
I'll go Deadly Device. I don't care.
I feel like I know that you can unfortunately get kicked out by and be yelled at by Victor, but at the same time, electrocution.
Yes.
You can also... Can't you die in that little room you get trapped in?
Yeah, but that's suffocation, Ariana.
Yeah.
You know how I am with suffocation. You can also overheat in the air ducts.
Yeah.
And that also, not great.
Okay.
Trail the Twister?
Sure.
Okay. Woo! Now this one's spicy.
Okay.
Tomb of the Lost Queen versus Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake.
I'm so sorry, Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake, because it's Tomb of the Lost Queen.
Yep.
Again, I love those endings. They are so good.
They are.
Whoever was doing that needs to, be rehired.
Yes, bring that person back. That person specifically.
Yes.
And also Kevin Manthe for the soundtracks.
Yes. Please.
Yes. Secrets Can Kill versus Haunted Carousel. Haunted Carousel.
Haunted Carousel, yeah. Hands down.
Okay. Legend of the Crystal Skull versus Secret of the Old Clock.
Legend of the Crystal Skull, right?
Definitely. Yes. It has great ones. Okay. Shadow at the Water's Edge versus Phantom of Menace, which is Shadow at Water's Edge.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and White Wolf of Icicle Creek versus Ghost of Thornton Hall. Ghost of Thornton Hall.
For sure, yeah.
Okay, that really helps us just get rid of all of the ones that just made it through just because of what they were up against.
Right.
Okay. Danger on Deception Island versus Final Scene. I want to say Danger on Deception Island. It's just, for me, what puts it over the edge is that there's more ways to die in Danger on Deception Island than in Final Scene.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, you can die in the building being taken down. You can die.
You can be electrocuted.
You can be, electrocuted, really, thank you.
But also, have you considered that you can die by not putting on your life jacket or your bike helmet?
Indeed.
So
and you just go one click too far and suddenly you've been lost in a sea of fog.
Exactly.
Never to be seen again.
Yeah, it's I'm just making the choice, Ariana.
Okay, alright.
I'm sorry. The next one's easy, though. Trail of the Twister versus Tomb of the Lost Queen.
Oh, Tomb of the Lost Queen.
Haunted Carousel versus Legend of the Crystal Skull. I want to say Haunted
Carousel, for sure, yeah.
Shadow at the Water's Edge versus Ghost of Thornton Hall. A ghost can kill you in both games.
That said,
I just think Ghost of Thornton Hall has more.
I think so, too. And also,
they're all really good quality.
Yeah. And even the ones where it's like a death I don't like, I don't know, in the end of the game when you're trying to do the clock puzzle, it's still like, I don't feel trapped, as opposed to, I don't know, being held underwater by an animatronic fucking...
Yeah, don't like that.
Mm-mm.
Okay, now, our semi-final. Danger on Deception Island versus Tomb of the Lost Queen. Very fucking difficult for me. I feel like
ways.
Yeah, I like the ways that it's presented in Tomb of the Lost Queen, but I like the ways that they're actually, done in Danger on Deception Island. The actual... If Danger on Deception Island had those after screens... it would be absolutely perfect. It's on one hand, spinning newspaper. On the other hand, homicidal bridge.
maybe a little
it wasn't
factoid about you. Yeah. I still lean Tomb of the Lost Queen.
See, I feel like Danger on Deception Island just has higher quality. You can get arrested for getting the wrong crab, Ariana. If you bring him a female Dungeness crab twice, you get arrested. You literally get arrested, Ariana.
You can accidentally kill Dylan.
Yeah, I mean, but whatever. He ran first into a place where there was no reason for him to think was safe. He just runs in there, and he gets squashed by rocks, and how is that my problem?
Well, let's do the other one. What's the other one?
Haunted Carousel versus Ghost of Thornton Hall. Apparently we've gotten to these are the 4 best games.
Right? You're right. So, okay, we'll stop here. The 4 best ones. There we go.
No, we have to figure it out.
I'd actually lean a little more Haunted Carousel.
I think the deaths are more iconic.
Yes, absolutely.
I definitely think they are. So,
but it's very, very close race.
It is. It's just, being fired for falling off a carousel is literally the funniest way to get fired off of a case. Truly. So, Danger on Deception Island versus Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon, apparently.
What? That I don't even think made it out of 1.
It did not. Tomb of the Lost Queen.
I mean, okay, I can at least remember the deaths better in Danger on Deception Island.
Thank you. However, that leaves us with Danger on Deception Island versus Haunted Carousel.
They're both so good. I could go
either way. Honestly, you could convince me of either one and I would accept it.
Right. I feel like there are more, though, in Danger on Deception Island.
There are.
Simply by virtue of being, like,
a longer game.
An actual game-length game.
Yeah. They both have, like, awkward, really long outros for most of them.
Yeah.
Outro phone calls, so there's that. They both have that. There are more in Deception Island, but I think the ones in Haunted Carousel are more iconic. Just in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think everyone can name at least 5.
Yeah.
And that's just, but...
You gotta love theme park related death/injuries.
But also you can get arrested for getting the wrong crab.
Yeah.
So, yeah, whichever. Your choice, sister.
Shoot.
Yeah.
That's really, really, really tough.
I would say, let's go for Deception Island.
Okay.
Just because it is a better game. So we enjoy the deaths more.
That's true. There we go.
Though, Haunted Carousel, the deaths are like the only reason I like to play that game.
That's also true. It's definitely not getting to deal with joy.
No. So, Danger on Deception Island?
Yeah, I'm going Danger on Deception Island. That or I'm going to go off on another 20-minute rant about joy.
So, Danger on Deception Island is the game with the best second chances.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, it came straight through very first pre-qualifier round. We were like, Danger on Deception Island. And from there, it was all just meaningless. So, wow. I'll include the blank bracket for y'all in the description, so you can do this and send it to us on Discord. Just come to our Discord. It's literally the best place to get a hold of us.
You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, and Spotify, and you can leave us reviews that maybe, if they give us that little touch of happiness or anger, we'll read.
Yeah. And if you support us on Patreon, Twitch,
read out loud. We're gonna read them regardless.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Twitch.
If you want to support us on Twitch or Patreon, you can. Krolmeister Sisters. Don't feel obligated. This is the first podcast you,
right?
The last podcast was the first one in months. So, consider what you do with your money. You could also get us, money, and we'll play games.
Exactly.
On stream. See? There's the thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Like Starfield.
Which I'll bet you I just played again this week.
Probably.
This will have been the second week I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as a reminder, I'm Marisa.
And I'm Ariana.
And we're the Krolmeister Sisters. And we're asking you guys to stay sleuthy.